This edition of Eat, Drink, Explore Media's Market Fresh is brought to you by San Luis Obispo County Restaurant Month, which ends tonight, as a matter of fact. So take advantage while you still can at participating restaurants throughout the county. Head to sanluisobispocounty.com for a complete list of these fantastic places to dine. And what a bargain. 3-course meals, just $30 at some of the Central Coast's top spots. Don't let the month end, which it does in just hours, without trying one of these specials. Make your reservation right away. All right, time to get the very latest fresh food news straight from the Eat, Drink, Explore news desk. All the news you hear during this report is available at eatdrinkexplore.com in article form and more in-depth with links to some of the topics we're talking about. Hey, fresh leafy green produce is the current focus of concern following a new report by the CDC targeting it as the #1 source for foodborne illness. A 10-year study took a look at records related to more than 4,500 outbreaks starting back in 1998. While leafy greens may have sickened more people, deaths from foodborne illness came primarily from chicken, dairy, and beef. The leafy greens got most of the attention, however, because of the high number of illnesses, most of those related to norovirus that spread through the fresh produce. You may want to reconsider deep frying some of the produce or products that you buy at the market tonight, as a new study shows a link between deep-fried foods and prostate cancer. Specifically, doctors looked at chicken, fish, French fries, and donuts. Surprisingly, no link was shown with snack chips. We will interview the author of the study on our Sunday morning show, so stay tuned for more on that. Central Coast kiwi growers are seeing higher prices for their fruit than they've seen in the past couple of years when the crops were huge. The yield this time around is about average, and supplies from Italy are smaller too, which is driving strong demand. The season started well for California kiwi fruit growers too, because the New Zealand and Chilean fruit was off the shelves in good time. California, by the way, grows 98% of the kiwi crop. All right, let's check in now with weatherelement.com's Chris Arndt. He has a look at the market forecast. And how you doing, Chris?
Doing great, Randall.
Thank you. And we had a really nice warm day today. It's clear out there. Good night to head down to the market, huh?
Yep, it was a beautiful day in downtown SLO. The high this afternoon at the weatherelement.com Mission College Prep Station was 70 degrees at 2 p.m. Right now, the skies are clear, and the temperature is 60 degrees. The wind is out of the north-northwest at 3 miles an hour, with gusts to 5, which makes for no real wind chill at all. By the closing bell, I expect the temperature to be down to 51 degrees, wind still about 6 from the northwest.
All right, that sounds like I can't believe we're going to drop 9 degrees over the course of the market. So it's been falling rather rapidly, maybe because there's not much humidity in the air, huh?
That's it exactly. This time of year, with the really dry conditions we've been having, it drops a lot just as soon as the sun goes down. One of the little secrets about forecasting low temperatures for the night is lacking any other extraordinary weather happening. If you look at the dew point at sundown, that should be about the low temperature overnight.
Good tip from Chris Arndt, weatherelement.com. Thank you so much, Chris. We always appreciate your forecast. And stick around, everyone, because we are back in just a moment with a look at hard cider here on the Central Coast. If you like our Market Fresh show, then you need...
Welcome back to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio network. Here now is your fabulous host, Mr. Randall White.
And we're back. A very good evening, everyone. Crush 92.5 listeners. If you missed our first segment, it was news and that sort of thing. But this is segment number 2 of Market Fresh. And we are live from the downtown San Luis Obispo weekly Thursday night market, which, as you know, is just a mainstay of things to do here on the Central Coast. One of the nation's most popular and longest running events of its kind with all sorts of entertainment and fresh food and that sort of thing. In fact, our Nicole will give the street report in the next segment, talking about what entertainment you can find tonight. As we, if you're watching us online, we're taking a little peek outside right now to see some of the vendors setting up, and it's just beautiful out there already. Lots of the grills have started and the smoke is in the air. You can smell the tri-tip and such that's getting ready. But this segment right now is our local expert segment. And since this is our first week with a simulcast on Crush 92.5. Many of you didn't catch our previous shows, so I just want to quickly let you know that you can go to our website, go to the recipes section for some of the recipes shared by local chefs during Restaurant Month. Michael Wood with Robbins in Cambria gave us a sweet potato stuffed tortellini that was delicious, and a sweet potato and leek soup from Chef Jacob Moss at Lido, Dolphin Bay. Last week's Farmers Market Pizza from Rooster Creek Tavern in Arroyo Grande, that was Chef Jason Gable. All great and worth trying again. But tonight we turn from the chef realm and we put a different expert on the stand here. It is Bristol's cider, and it's made by the people at Lone Madrone Winery on Paso's west side. Joining us in studio right now is Connor how do you say your last name, Connor?
That's all right. It's you're not the first one. It's Connor Meznarich.
Meznarich. I should have asked you that prior to the show, and this isn't our first meeting. I just didn't realize that. Anyway, Connor Meznarich. I said that.
Perfect.
Oh, perfect. Welcome to Market Fresh.
Thanks very much for having me, Randall. I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, nice to have you here. And I got to tell everyone that Connor dropped by with a bottle of this cider the other day. It was Saturday. And I'm a big cider fan to begin with, and I took a sip of it, and it's great. It's on the dry side, which I like. And then I like things in bottle, but I prefer them on draft. And then you gave me the lowdown that it was available at Sidecar. So I went over there and had a couple. Here's the warning to the people listening right now. It's it's really good, but it's really strong.
7.7, yeah.
7.7%. So if you're used to throwing back a few pints of beer and of lighter beer, and we're not talking IPAs and stuff, but you throw back some of the lighter beers and you drink at that same pace with the cider, you're going to find yourself on the drunk side. So keep it under wraps, not under wraps. Just keep it on the light side when you're having these. So what made you guys think to make cider at a winery?
So Neil Collins and Jackie Meisinger are the owners. They're both from Bristol, England. And
hence the name.
Hence
Okay.
the name, yeah, exactly. So they moved over here 25, 30 years ago. And Neil could not find a cider that was similar to his English cider, which is more dry than it is sweet. Yeah. And so he was like, well, I'm a winemaker. I'll just make my own.
Yeah.
So he just started experimenting, really small production just for he and his friends. And then from there, it's kind of taken off.
Connor, where did you source all the apples?
So we're all local. So everything comes from either Sea Canyon or Chadmark Farms, which is up in San Miguel. So everything is 100% local. And
the apple season is really similar, runs somewhat concurrent with grape season. So the harvests are at the same time. Where'd you find the room to make cider at a winery that's in production?
Yeah, it's tough. The cider has been kind of my project this year, and so I've really been just taking charge of that and just have to fit it in. We buy the juice, a lot of the juice mainly from the orchards, and so it makes it easier. We don't have to actually press it all, which can take a lot of time. And then once we buy it, it's like from there, you put it into a tank and then you start letting it ferment.
And
so
fermentation time's about the same as just beer.
Yeah, it varies. We were adding kind of cider on cider because we were getting, as the apples ripen, you have to you can't, all these different apple varieties ripen at different times. So we were getting a batch and adding it into a tank, and so
right, okay,
kind of like stopping fermentation, but it's still going, and so it took a few months, yeah.
And so then we were showing, for those people watching online, we were showing your little 2-bottle system and I can tell you I've run a number of microbreweries in the past. That was my career before I got into broadcasting, and I've seen these, similar versions, but it's a lot of effort. So when somebody goes out there and gets a bottle of this at your tasting room, is where you sell the bottled form, right? Yep. Appreciate it, because it's not easy to put together, right?
Takes quite a while, yeah. I think, in my opinion, that 2-head bottle filler that we use could be used for home brewer because it takes quite a while.
Well, that's what makes it craft. That's why you can throw that's why you can throw that at the beginning of the stuff you make, because you don't have this big giant industrial system that's putting this cider out there. This comes from local fruit by local growers and local bottlers and all that sort of thing. Now, but it is on draft at a number of North County locations, and then here in San Luis Obispo as well. Can you run down the locations where it's currently available?
Yeah, so in San Luis, we'll start off there. It's at Sidecar Restaurant on draft. They just got a fresh new keg, so go in and get yourself some there.
I am after right after this this show.
And then we have bottles and kegs at Molly Pitcher in Atascadero, which is that new beer bar. We also have Via Creek in Paso Robles has it on draft. 15C has it on draft.
Nice places. You got into some of the top restaurants.
Yeah, exactly. And then Poorhouse in Paso actually has it in there. Everybody's really excited about it because it is local and it is 100% juice, apple juice, and
I like that. Everyone's into that right now. That's exactly what people want. They want the 100% juice. They want the local. They want the seasonal. And this is seasonal in the sense that the apples were picked in season and then made into this product, bottled and fermented, and now are available.
Right. And I mean, we want to try and obviously provide for these restaurants throughout the year.
Yeah.
And that's something we're still kind of figuring out, but well, we'll get there.
A lot of apples are grown here on the Central Coast, so and I know for a fact that not all of them are used, and sometimes are allowed to rot on the tree. So this is a great place where they could go and be put to much better use.
Exactly,
than that.
Exactly. It's so true. And also, I don't know if you knew this, but hard apple cider was the first drink that was drank in the United States.
I love it. Connor Meznarich with Lone Madrone Winery out of Paso. Ask for their Bristol cider. It's delicious. You're listening to the Market Fresh Report here on Fresh 92.5. We're back in just a moment. We go down to street level to find out what's going on. And a very, very good Thursday evening here. You're listening to Market Fresh live from the downtown San Luis Obispo Farmers Market, where we take a look at everything that is in season, fresh, and available. This is our street segment. However, we're not on the street because it was just too dark out there. I think this is the last week for darkness during the show when it comes to, because I looked in the camera 5 minutes ago and we were good. And then this time around, not so much. So next week, I don't know if we have Nicole's. Yeah, we do have Nicole's mic up. Maybe if you talk into that for me, Nicole.
Test.
I'm not hearing anything out of there.
She's 2, right?
Sorry. I'm not. Try it again, Nicole.
Test.
There we go. Yes.
There
all
we
right.
are.
So,
hello, everyone.
I just want to make sure everyone on Crush 92.5 and watching online can hear what you have to say.
They don't think you're talking to yourself.
Exactly, which I do on occasion, but not during this time of night. What do we have entertainment-wise at the market tonight?
We have 4 entertainers tonight, so things are picking back up from last week. There was only 2 last week, I believe. First, on Broad Street, we have the Vaquero Band. I wasn't able to find anything on them online, but that does mean cowboy in Spanish, so Randall and I were thinking maybe it's some sort of folk band.
Right.
Possibly. On Garden Street, we have Carmen, and I'm hoping not to mess up this last name. It's very long. Terraciano, I believe. And they are a solo acoustic guitarist from San Luis Obispo. On Choro Street, we have Something Ridiculous. Once again, those acrobats are out there on their unicycles and their freestanding ladders. So,
and I'm sure they're great people.
Yeah. Seems like they're there pretty much every week. I think we've talked about them. So,
right.
Yeah. And then on Morrow Street, we have the Crustacea Jazz Band. I looked on their website. They play traditional jazz. They say it is danceable and swinging tunes, songs that were popular between 1900 and 1930.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, there are 5 members of the band, and they play a mixture of, and this is a lot of instruments, but I will tell you all of them. The washboard, violin, clarinet, saxophone, keyboard, flute, tuba, banjo, guitar, and vocals.
They are
Between
diverse.
the 5 of them.
Between the 5 of them.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That should be some fun music. Which street is that on?
And that's on Morrow Street.
That's on Morrow, okay.
Yeah, so I was down on the street, and I wanted to talk a little bit about honey today.
Ah, a local honey producer?
A local honey producer.
That's pretty much the only honey I have is local. And so which one is this?
This is the Stolte's Bee Farm, and eating local honey is great, as you mentioned, just because of all of the health benefits. It's not pasteurized. It's all natural. They don't use any pesticides or herbicides, so the honey is in that way pure and keeps all of its nutrients.
I don't know what sort of scientific evidence they have for this, but as I understand it, if you eat local honey, and this is why I originally started eating local honey, the bees are going to the different plants that are in the area.
Exactly.
And so if you have allergies, were you just going to say that?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Uh-huh.
So that's great for just being local in that way.
Right, because you're ingesting the local pollen, which
Yeah.
is, I mean, basically whenever you get immunized to something, you're getting a dose of whatever it is. So
Yeah, and they've been making this honey since 1957, so they've been at it for a while.
The same people.
And they work out of San Luis Obispo. They sell at local farmers markets from Monday through Saturday. So Sunday is the only day that they're not out at the farmers market selling this.
that's a busy life.
It is a busy
They're
life.
busy as bees.
Yeah. And I have a bee fact if you'd like to hear it.
Please.
Okay, so during a bee's lifetime, they only produce 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey
Okay.
and only 1/80th, that's 80, of a teaspoon of wax.
All right. So during an entire bee's life, how
Yes.
much of a teaspoon? 1/8?
1/12.
1/12. So there's so for one jar of honey, there's a lot of bees
Yeah.
that were taking part in
So
that.
listen to this, though. An entire colony of bees can produce up to 200 pounds of honey in 1 year.
Oh, really? So how many bees are in a colony then?
I don't know, but I would say a lot.
I think you're right. That's one of those things, just like the cider when we were speaking before, sometimes we've gotten so much in the mentality of, shopping at these big mega stores with cheap prices. And now when you see things that are valued where they should be, sometimes you look at it and you think, oh, this is so pricey. Do I really
Yeah.
want to pay $10 for a jar of honey? Yeah. You
You
do
do.
want to pay $10 for a jar of
Yeah,
honey.
like we said, it's a quality product.
It's quality.
And, I mean, this couple is making the honey, which is so cool, just in San Luis Obispo.
And has been for so many
For
years.
so long. Yeah, winter is a slower season for them
right.
because the bees are dormant during that time. So all the female bees are sleeping in the hive, and what happens is they kick out the male bees.
Oh, well.
And then they die. Sorry to the male bees.
Right. Off with you. Get out of here. I'm tired of it. So I've had enough of you. Well, Nicole, good stuff. And it looks like it's a
Thank
busy
you.
market again.
It is.
Down there.
It is. It's getting busier and busier every week, I think, as we're getting more into or closer to springtime at least.
So our studio is directly above Pete's Coffee and Tea. You
Yes,
can
it
see all the
is.
windows open if you're down at the market right now, looking up. And it's warm enough out that we can have all the windows open. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool, too. All right, well, join us on Sunday morning between 8 and 10. We have our weekly Eat, Drink, Explore radio show. Lots of great stuff coming up this week on that show, including tips for your Super Bowl party. We have a chef coming down from Oakland who will go through a number of different sandwiches, and it's all city-specific,
Okay.
so that should be a lot of fun, too. All right, thank you for everyone who helped us put together this show tonight. Anthony Renaro working the audio, and Nicole Powers for getting all the beats in.
Listening to the Eat,
Thanks,
Drink,
Randall.
Explore radio program. If you missed any of our segments today, look for them online or through our free Apple and Android apps. Catch you back right here next week.